Dear students, this is the history book of class ninth, and today we are going to discuss the next topic of the first chapter, which is Did Women Have a Revolution? And it is the part of the first chapter, which is the French Revolution. Now, start the topic. As we had already discussed that France had abolished the monarchical government and France had become a republic. Now we will discuss that did the women had participated in that revolution or not. So let's start the topic. From the very beginning, women were active participants in the events which brought about so many important changes in French society. They hoped that their involvement would pressurize the revolutionary government to introduce measures to improve their lives. Most of women of the third state had to work for a living. They worked as the seamstresses of laundresses, sold flowers, fruits, and vegetables at the market, or were employed as domestic servants in the houses of prosperous people. Most women did not have even access to education or job training. Only daughters of nobles or wealthier members of the third state could study at a convent, after which their families arranged a marriage for them. Working women had also to care for their families, that is, cook, fetch water, queue up for bread, and look after the children. Their wages were lower than those of men. As we are discussing, that did the participation of women had happened in the French Revolution. So we should know that what condition of or what situation of women was at that time. So at the very beginning, women were active participant and they have brought so many changes in the French society. As हम लोग क्या देखते हैं that they had involved in to pressurize the revolutionary government, and they had introduced some measures to improve their lives. And most of the women of third state who were belonging to the third state, they had worked for a living. They had sold flowers, fruits, vegetables at the market, and उन्होंने डोमेस्टिक सर्वेंट हाउसेस में डोमेस्टिक सर्वेंट बन के भी काम किया, धनी लोगों के यहाँ, प्रॉस्पेरस लोगों के यहाँ. बहुत सी वेमेन ऐसी थी जिनके जिनके बच्चे न पढ़ पाते थे, इवन उनको जॉब ट्रेनिंग नहीं मिलती थी. उनके बच्चे इतने मतलब वो है वेल्दी थे नहीं, इतना उनके पास पैसा नहीं था दैट दे कैन सेंड दियर चिल्ड्रन टू कॉन्वेंट स्कूल. ओनली नोबल पीपल चिल्ड्रन कैन गो टू द कॉन्वेंट स्कूल. एंड उसके बाद उनकी फैमिलीज दे अरेंज द मैरिज फॉर देम. एंड वर्किंग वेमेन हैड ऑल्सो टू केयर फॉर देयर फैमिलीज. As they working women, what they have to do, they have to cook food, they have to fetch water, they have to be in a line or queue for getting bread, because at that time it was very expensive situation. There was a crisis for the bread, and they had also to look after their children. And in spite of that, their wages was low. They were getting low payment. They were not getting as payment as the noble women or noble person. And in order to discuss and voice their interest, women started their own political clubs and newspaper. Now what they have done, they have started their political clubs and their newspapers so that they can raise their voice, वो अपनी आवाज़ उठा सकें. And about 60 women clubs came up in different French cities. And at that time when they have started, लगभग 60 ऐसे clubs थे जो French city में आए. The Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women was the most famous of them, and the most famous club was Society of Revolutionary and Republican Women. And one of their main demands, उनकी main demand क्या थी, was that women enjoy the same political rights as men. They want that they should get the equal rights as the men gets. They want the equality, and uh, this is why they have got the success. They just want their right, and they fought for their right. उन्होंने अपनी rights के लिए लड़ाई की, and that's why they have got their rights. Women were disappointed that Constitution of 1791 reduced them to the passive citizen, but they have disappointed when the 1791 Constitution had told them that women are passive citizens. Passive citizens means they will remain as same as that they were. वो जैसे थे वो वैसे ही रहेंगे. They demanded the right to vote. They have demanded that they want to cast vote and to be elected to the assembly and hold political office, and they also want to be the representative as they want to hold the offices also. Only then they felt would their interests be represented in the government, and thought, they felt that ऐसा होगा तभी वो अपने आप को गवर्नमेंट में रिप्रेजेंट कर पाएंगी. इफ़ दे विल बी द पार्ट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट देन दे कैन represent themselves. Otherwise, they are not going to be seen by anyone, because if they will not represent themselves, then they will remain as same as they were. जैसे वो थी वो वैसी की वैसी ही रह जाएंगी. In the early years, the revolutionary government did introduce laws that helped improve the lives of women. कुछ सालों में जो revolutionary government थी, they had introduced laws that they want to improve the lives of women, and together with the creation of state school, they have created some schooling facilities compulsory for all the girls who are belonging to the third state. And they have also said that their fathers could not no more force them into marriage, because they can have their marriage, they can be married on their will. When they will want that they want to marry, then they will get married. And marriage was made into a contract entered into freely and registered under civil law. एंड मैरिज को एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना दिया गया एंड फ्रीली और रजिस्टर्ड किया गया ये सिविल लॉ के अंडर. डाइवोर्स वॉज ऑल्सो बिकम लीगल एंड कुड बी अप्लाइड फॉर बाई बोथ वेमेन एंड मेन. एंड डाइवोर्स ये कहा गया कि मैन भी डाइवोर्स दे सकता है एंड वेमेन कैन ऑल्सो गिव डाइवोर्स टू द मेन. Women could now train for jobs. They have got the right for training of jobs. अब उनको जॉब ट्रेनिंग का राइट मिल गया था. Could become artist और run small businesses. वो आर्टिस्ट बन सकती थी और कुछ स्मॉल बिजनेसेस भी रन कर सकती थी. Women's struggle for equal political rights, however, continued during the Reign of Terror, as we had already discussed about the Reign of Terror. So during that time, women have struggled for their political rights as well as economical rights. The new government had issued some laws, and they have ordered that women clubs will be closed, their political activities will be banned, and many of the prominent women who were strong at that time, they were being arrested, and then after some of them have been executed. That's why a fear again came into the mind of women. Women movement for voting rights and equal wages continued through the next 200 years many countries of the world. But some of the movements, just like voting rights and equal wages, they were getting near about 200 years, till 200 years after that, and they have got this in many countries of the world. वो बहुत सी countries में उनको मिला. The fight for the vote was carried out through an international suffrage movement during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. And a fight had happened for the vote, and it had happened on international level, and it had been termed as international suffrage movement, and it had happened between 19th and 20th century, last of 19th century. ये 19वीं शताब्दी का लास्ट और 20th सेंचुरी का स्टार्टिंग था when the international suffrage movement started. An example of the political activities of French women during the revolutionary year was kept alive as an inspiring memory, and this can be the best example of political activity of French women, because at that time they had taken part in the revolutionary activities and they had inspired many of the women to keep them alive. It was finally in 1946 that women in France won the right to vote, and in 1946 they fought, and after that they had, at last, in 1946 they have got the right to vote. So that's enough for today's class. In the next class, we will discuss more things of this chapter. Till then, goodbye and take care. See you all in the next class, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel.